has to attend to another meeting with the chairman. On behalf of the director, I welcome everyone to this meeting. And this meeting was being called for so that everybody can have a sense of belonging, not that every time we need to speak to the FDQMs, we go through the SDQM. So we just want to point out not more than 3 points to the FDQMs as we all wait for the census exercise. First and foremost, we would like to officially let you know that for now, there is no official date for the commencement of the census exercise. So we should not we should not listen to any rumor or hearsay that will be coming from anywhere. So this is from the DQM management, letting you know that for now, we don't have any date for the census. When a date has been fixed by the Commission's management by the special grace of God, you'll also be communicated to and let you know when we'll start our activities. However, before a date is being decided on and announced, we will be engaging all FDQMs and SDQMs in order for us not to forget all that we have. Okay, hope the audio is back now. So sorry. So as I was saying, we will be engaging ourselves with assignments which should be sent down to us through our SDQMs weekly so that we all can be on top of our game and not lose touch with what we have learned. In the same manner, we also implore all FDQMs to be available for their SWF that they have trained in their various states, so that in case they have any questions for you. We also have learning materials such as YouTube videos, which I believe by now, every one of us should have come across it and also watched it at least once. We want to encourage everybody to please watch the YouTube video as much as we can, so that at the end of the day, we can boast of maybe memorizing word for word what is in the YouTube video. That's going to help us a lot. And we have also made the video to be disseminated to other platforms so that intending enumerators also can also have access to them and have an idea of what they are coming to learn. Another message that the director has for FDQMs is that for those of us who have been posted to volatile areas that are known to have security challenges, she wants us to know that nobody is going to work in such an area. The posting has been done so that we know that for every LGA and for every EA, there is a DQM to validate the EAs and also monitor the data quality and census process for that LGA and EA. For places where we have security challenges, arrangements are in top gear with the state authorities on how best to address the situation. And what's likely going to happen is for areas that are very volatile, no FDQM will be resident there. Instead, he or she will be resident in the nearest LGA that is safe for people to reside. So the closest LGA that is safe is where our FDQMs will be residing. Nobody is going to go and work in any LGA or any ward that is known to have security challenge. Then the second message is on payment. We want to let you know that we appreciate you, the hard work, enthusiasm, and dedication. However, we know that some people, it has come to our notice that some people are still being owed one or two payments from previous activities. So please, anybody who is being owed should please report to their current SDQM, letting the person know where you served, where you served, and what activity have you not been paid. For the recent SWF refresher training, that FDQMs were being paid 66,000. The director took it up with the management when it was brought to her notice, and she has gotten approval to pay up the balance. And when we say balance, from the 66K, she was made to understand that people were paid 10K per day, even when at some point you were trainers to the SWF. So the balance of that 10K, which is 5K, making it 15K, has been approved for every FDQM, and also transport. The transport, however, is not a flat rate. For those who are residing within the state, for example, if I worked in Benue, if I'm from Benue and I trained in Benue, you're going to be paid a stipend for internal transport, while those who came from outside will be paid according to where they are coming from. So as of yesterday, the collations have been made and will be submitted very soon for those who have not been paid at all. Then for the balance, payments will commence, I think, by next week, and before the end of next week, hopefully by the grace of God, everybody should get paid for the balance. But for the 66,000, that will be paid first, because that was what was first of all submitted. So you'll get that. But if there's any other one that is still outstanding, kindly bring it to the notice of your current SDQM, letting him or her know where you trained. And also, speaking of payments, last weekend, for those of us who participated in the end-to-end test, you will recall that we had some people who displayed unruly characters that was very, very not palatable to the coordinator and anybody who holds responsibility in high esteem. In as much as we are all entitled to, it's legitimate for us to ask for what's entitled to us. We don't want it to be done in an unruly and rude manner. So we just want people to know that, just in case you are among those who said that because of one reason or the other, you will not want to be a DQM, please kindly do that in an orderly manner by letting your SDQM know. He or she will bring it to the notice of the authorities concerned, so that we can know how many vacancies we have. And for those who put the message on the platform, disciplinary actions have been approved by the management to be taken upon them because of such people, and the languages they used during the period are not people that you can comfortably allow them to run an LGA. Between when you started training and now, I'm sure you must have seen how high and respected the DQMs are on the field. So people, a DQM is somebody that the whole workforce look up to. So for somebody to now come and start behaving and talking anyhow, it's really, really not something that is acceptable, because such a person can also join people and cause havoc to the entire census system. So as for payment, any payment that's outstanding, please let your SDQM know. But the two major ones right now are the SWF refresher trade of 66,000, and the other one, that's the balance, which is official and will be you would be paid. And also, we'll also let you know that we know that during this break, just as the DQMs are going to be given assignments, other units of the census are also engaging their people in one thing or the other. We want you to know that the DQM management has zero tolerance for double functionality. That means if you are a DQM, please stick to your role, because of this can cause confusion. If you go to facilitators training online and identify with them, they will count you amongst their functionary. Whereas at the end of the day, when you now decide to belong to one, you will see that we will be having a shortfall either in DQM or in facilitator. So please, let us not, out of greed or maybe seeking for relevance, make a mistake that is going to jeopardize the whole system. While we are waiting, the postponement is in order for things to be gotten right. So please, we should not in any way try to jeopardize or cause more havoc to that, because even functionary finalization is part of getting it right. So the director has said that anybody whose name, any DQM whose name comes out at the end of the day as somebody who has participated in the facilitators training, should please know that he or she will no longer be regarded as a DQM, huge, because of we cannot do double roles, and also you might not have been performing your own duties very well, because of you have to be online there and also come and do your own assignment as a DQM. So please, it's coming out like now, like as a notice and also a warning. Please let us decide where we want to belong, so that nobody will say that you were not told, I did not know, or any other. Hello. Okay, then lastly, I want to appreciate the effort of everybody on behalf of the director for coming this far, and let's continue to work as a team. The doors are open. If you have any challenge or any problem, you have your SDQM, you have your former focal to contact and ask for gray areas, so that we don't pass the wrong information to our trainees and also respondents at large. At this juncture, I'll stop here now, and we'll take questions. For those on YouTube, you can hear me. Unfortunately, people cannot talk there. So all you do is that drop a message on the YouTube platform. It will be read from there. So for those who want to ask questions here, kindly do signify by raising up your hand. We'll take you one by one. The ones we can answer here, it will be answered. The one that cannot be answered, the zonal help desk for North Central will collate it, and it will be taken to the table of the coordinator She will give you response either via your SDQM or call you directly, depending on what the question might be. So now I can see Joseph from Kwara. You're raising up your hand. You have the floor.
Good evening, ma'am. I want to appreciate the commission for this great opportunity and for deeming it fit to organize a gathering or a meeting like this. A lot of questions have actually been bothering our minds, and I think we've not been able to get a perfect answers to some of those questions. Hence, leading to some of the insubordinate acts that you earlier stated out. Initially, about a month ago, some of us participated in an end-to-end test. Our first one we did, I think it was for 2 days or so. We were paid, I think, 15,000. And then the second one we did was, I think, for 3 days. We went for community interactions, and then we went for household listing, and then we come back for evaluation. I think it was for 3 days or so. But I think in Madam's last statement, she stated that the payment we're expecting is 10,000. That was heartbreaking anyway, and it's also fine. What we're saying is even the 10,000 up to now, we've not been able to get. The payment for SWF training, some states have actually been paid the 66,000 now. And then Kofi says precisely have not been paid, not to talk of the balance. We actually want to know why we have not even been paid the 66,000 and then talking about the balance. Another thing I actually want to note is the fact that DQMs, or let me say 90% of the DQMs or 80% of the DQMs are ad hoc staffs. And now, the commission actually takes our time to the point that even out of scheduled work time, they call us for assignment. And most times they give us deadline to complete those assignments out of scheduled work time. Yes, we are working for the commission, but we are working as an ad hoc staff. And out of scheduled work time, we also have some kind of assignments that we do aside the NPC assignment. And then they'll put us into Durex most times to complete this assignment within some stipulated time. The last time I had some few fracas with my SDQ, and when she called me, we're supposed to compile him after we are even done with the training. She called me that we need to compile him, I think a day or two after the training. And then she gave me 2 hours or 3 hours to make it done, send a Google sheet to the platform and then collect names. And I was like, man, presently as I'm talking to you, I'm in the market. I think that was the day before Salah also. How am I supposed to get this done within this time that you are giving me? One, I wasn't expecting this call. 2, I'm not even in the right frame. I'm not even in the right place. And she got angry and hung up. Also to note, the training we did for the SWF DQAA, we did for 3 days. Please, the commission did not say anything about it. What exactly is the remuneration for that particular training, or is it just a free training? And furthermore, please, we would like the commission to always give us a contract of assignment. Let us know how many days we are working, how much you are paying us, what is obtainable, all the allowances obtainable. If it is okay by us, fine, we sign the contract and we go into it. So that when anyone breaches that contract, fine, you can hold the person responsible. But to be sincere with us, if there is no contract of job or contract of agreement, you can't hold anyone responsible for breaching what is not there. Because they said in an unlawful community, there is no offender. It is going to favor the commission and it's also going to favor us. so that we know when our time elapsed, why we are working. This is when we are working to. This is what we are expecting. A lot of things have actually come up because of inability for us to get what is obtainable for us in a particular job we're doing. So please, these are my few questions and contributions that I would like you to throw light on. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay. Good evening once more, and thank you. First and foremost, I'll start from your last question. And I honestly want to say that I'm not very happy by the word you said, that in an unlawful community. There has been no time that the DQM will be known for being unlawful. Like I mentioned earlier, we have several units of the census workforce, and home and abroad, within and outside the commission, the DQM has been one that people applaud. So if you consider the DQM community as an unlawful one, then maybe it's you that is intending to be unlawful. Then the issue of contracts, I missed that in my address. Is one of the messages that is going to be sent out to everybody before you engage in this particular census exercise. You're going to sign contract papers for staff and those who are not staff. Those who are staff, civil service rule will be applied to you. And also within the commission, you're going to bring somebody who is level 14 and above to stand as your guarantor. In other words, that person will be held liable for any offense or breach of contract that is going to be carried out by you. And the issue of you being called outside your comfort time, yeah, that such things occur, even though I know it's not really palatable. But I want to also let you know that we are all adults in the DQM community, and before we all got engaged to what we are presently doing now, I want to believe that nobody was forced. For those of us who work with other agencies, when the time is right, because for example, now, if you will have written to your agencies that they should release you for this particular period, and they've given you leave, the census has been put on hold. They're not really on hold. There's no date for now. So we don't want that back and forth thing until the government gives us a particular date that is certain and has been stamped. Then, while we are sending out the contract papers, we'll also send out letters to agencies who have people working with us. So to inform them that this is what to excuse this particular staff from duty, and for calling you at odd times. At times you cannot help it when you're handling a project as big as census. Some requests just come from somewhere, and yes, sorry, your focal lead called you at an inconvenience in time, which you can also put to her, because we are all human beings. She could also be in that kind of situation, but if you let her know, she will also bring up your own excuse, and if it's possible, we extend your time. Then for the SWF training, I think if I get you right, you're referring to the online training that was done for 3 days. I don't have any information on that. I'll let the coordinator know, and we'll get back to you. Then for the issue of payment of 66,000, please, I want all of us to know that after the state training, where people were paid 230, that was the last time that funds were released directly to the DQM. Any other thing that you were doing has been controlled by another arm of the census process. There are some things that goes on behind the scene that you might not really understand. So please, for this particular refresher training, it was not handled by the DQM unit. In essence, the monies and everything was not done by the person that is used to doing. That was why when I was addressing you, I made mention that when it was brought to her notice, meaning that that person did not prepare it, and when she heard about it, she went and made a case which has been approved currently. And for states that have not been paid, we heard about it. We have tabled the complaint to the appropriate quarters, and we have also been asked to recompile again and send names of those who have not been paid. So that's why the balance will be paid. Approval has been gotten. Then the one that have not been paid at all is going to be submitted also by latest by end of today, because we want to finish this meeting first and be on the same page so that we don't jump ahead. We're supposed to submit it today, but we want everybody, after this is the last meeting for all the FDQMs. When we are done, we compile and submit and let them know that we have had our meeting with the 6 zones, and this is the response we have gotten from our people. So we'll submit it to the management that these people have not been paid. These ones have been paid. What is remaining is the balance. And for every DQM activity, we have always told the focus to communicate, because I remember us telling the focus to tell people for end to end that they will be paid 5,000 daily for transportation and 2,500 for feeding. That was what made the first end to end 15,000. And for the end to end, the second one being 3 days, I can't really remember, because it was the same modus operandi that was used for the first one that was used for the second one, because it's virtually the same locality that was used, just that the EAs were different. We picked an SA in the beginning. We used this EA for the first one, then in second EA for the next end to end. So I don't know how that one became 3 days, but for the issue of 10,000, 15,000, such question is directed to the coordinator, whom, like I mentioned earlier, it will be sent to her table, and she will send a response to you accordingly. I hope I've answered your question. The next person we are seeing is John Onumia from Niger. You have the floor. John, are you with us?
Yes, good evening, ma'am.
Okay, before John comes on, I can see
trying to speak, so the host had reached. Ma'am, up, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Hello, John. Okay, as I was saying, for the person from Nigeria that was asking how much for him that work within his state, I don't know how much you're going to be paid. I didn't prepare the budget, and I've not been privileged to see it. But if I get the information, I'll also forward this question to the coordinator, so that for those who work within their states, if the information is something that she would let you know through your SDQM. From FCT, we have Corner Barry from Akpopi. Can we hear from Corner Barry Akpopi?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. I can hear you, Corner Barry. Continue.
My question is a similar one to the one you just explained now. My own is about, because I'm from Rivers State, posted Abuja. My own is about the welfare of those who are not living within Abuja, that will be working in Abuja. The accommodation and the welfare of the general welfare of those that will be working in Abuja who are not living within Abuja. And we don't have, some of us don't have a relative living in Abuja where we can hang out with them for this period of time. So what do we do? Because
Okay.
it has been a problem I have. Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
No, thank you. For those who are not working within their states, those of us who are civil servants, or we work with organizations, when you're going out of your station, you're going to be paid what is called per diem. It's an allowance that you're expected to pay for hotel accommodation, and also you also be paid your transportation. So you'll be paid an allowance that you are expected to pay hotel bills from inside, and also you also be paid transport allowance. However, the commission management are in talks with states so that they can liaise with the liaise with the state government, local government, localities to help accommodate functionaries that will be working in their states, local government that are coming from outside. But please note that this is not compulsory. It's not mandatory. They are just talking with them and pleading with them to see if they can assist and provide accommodation. But in case you are provided with accommodation, fine. If you're not provided accommodation, you will be paid accordingly with something that you'll be able to take hotel. Thank you. We have Okome Ejirogene Abuja. Okome Ejirogene. Okay, if Okeme cannot hear us from Plateau State, we have Sadiq Abdurrahim. Sadiq Abdurrahim from Plateau State. Sadiq Abdurrahim, Okome. You can as well drop your question in the chat room if you're experiencing network challenge. I can also see Kuma Matthew. I guess your question has been answered.
So much.
Okay. Okay, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Why can you call my state DQM, Mr. John, again? I think he has something important to say. He couldn't get with you last time.
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Sadiq Abdurrahim.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My own suggestion is that the commission should bring out a MOU template to specify how much will be paid per day and others like transportation allowance, feeding allowance, accommodation allowance, data allowance, and above all, risk allowance, hazard allowance. Because hello, ma'am.
I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Because so as for us to know how much will be paid for accommodation. If I'm to go to places and the commission will be paying me 10,000 naira for accommodation allowance per day, and the hotel that I lodge in, I'm paying them 15,000 per day. You know, there is issue on that. So we want the commission to come out with MOU template so that we know how much will be paid for all this allowance. That's my own suggestion, ma'am.
Thank you. But like I earlier mentioned, you will be given a contract paper that states everything. Everything will be stated in the contract paper. So if you now sign and bring it back, you're going to indicate either you're interested or you're not interested. So in that contract paper, your position will be stated there, and all what you'll be doing will be stated there, and all what the commission will also do for you, like provision of laptop, enabling working environment, router, and others. It will all be in that contract letter, and also how much you're going to be paid and everything. So it's now left for you to sign and return it back to indicate interest or non-interest. Before I go to the next person, Hajara is saying that, can you clarify more on those who were put out of the Canada? Do you mean that their payments is same as those posted in their state? Hajara, I don't get you quite. I don't know what you're saying. Are you talking about the current posting or the former? Because for the current posting, for the census exercise, everybody has moved out of their states. Nobody's working within their state, so everybody's entitled to transportation. And if it's for the SWF pressure training about, those who work within their states, for example, Niger, working in Niger, will be paid local internal transportation, while those who came from Kwara to Niger, came from Abuja to Niger, will also be paid accordingly. That was what was being said. Thank you, Victor, for your comment. That's very, very.
Okay. So I don't know. Can we take questions from John?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yes, please. I just wanted to confirm for those of us who had submitted names for extension payment and feeding for the first 3 days of the not this one that was done, if we should still submit again since it has not been attended to.
Sorry, names for what?
Those of us that were not paid for the extension we did during the last state training, not the refresher training. I noticed that nobody had been attended to. So should we still submit our names again? Then we still have those who have not been paid for the 3 days SWF training. That is feeding, not the field work. So should we still submit our names again?
Yes, but categorize every payment. The 3 days feeding, then the other one. But for that extension, Extension. Okay, after the state training, those that stayed back. John, have they paid anybody that you know? Okay, I've lost him again because of that payment. Like we said, that one was not handled by the DQM, and I don't think they are saying that they didn't ask people to stay back.
Nobody has been paid for that.
Is it only DQM or facilitators?
Even facilitators haven't been paid. But as at the last SDQM meeting we had, Madam had told us that we're going to be paid in the next day.
Because okay, you compile it since you stayed. What which means is the one I'm talking about, because they just said that it's like, I don't know, but compile it and submit it, no problem.
All right.
Kone Barry, please, we have answered your question. Put your hand down. Okome Ejiro Gene.
Hello, ma. Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm Okome Ejirogene. I'm in Port Harcourt and I've been posted to Abuja. And I participated in the last online training, which my SDQM can confirm. Now, my question or my worry, my other colleague has asked this question, but what I want to find out now is that you said monies will be given to us for us to get accommodation and all that. Will the money be given to us before we come to Abuja, or it's when we now secure accommodation ourselves before they will now pay us? Because other state governments are making serious arrangements for their MDQMs where they're going to stay. I don't know why Abuja is different. Is Abuja not part of the country? Because all we hear is it's going to be difficult to. I really don't understand why it's going to be difficult. Some of our colleagues in other states are telling us that their state governments are making arrangements for them. So why is Abuja different? That's what I don't really understand. If I'm leaving my place of work, that's River State, to Abuja, I'm doing this thing because this is my country. I'm serving my country as an ad hoc staff. But again, I should not pass through pains. So please, when we hear this, we are discussing with them. I don't know why those people, they are that difficult to penetrate. So that's what I want to find out, man.
Okay. I actually don't know where you're getting your information from, for those who are saying that they are discussing with them or otherwise. So I just want to let you know, and every other person, that in whatever you are doing, if you're not getting an information directly from somebody who you know that is working with the said authorities, don't allow yourself get worked up on hearsay. Let it be the state director or a representative of that state that will tell you that we are not giving you, so that you don't panic before the job. Because I know your SDQM, and I don't think he will be the one that will tell you that he will give you that information that there is no accommodation, it is difficult, you will suffer. I don't see him saying that. So whoever is telling you that, I just want to let you know that, please don't listen to all that. You just wait, be hopeful and be positive. Come to the work first and see, and you might see that what you are hearing is different from what is actually happening. Then your first question asking when the money will be paid, that question also can be answered by the coordinating director. And like I said, all these questions have been compiled. When she gives her response, you get to know. Thank you.
Can I add more to that?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Okume, like I was rightly said, there's something you should, that you should really take home from there. The fact is that the commission is paying you for all party, which includes your accommodation, your feeding, and transportation. And the commission is not, from the project, is not based on state government support for accommodation. If they want to do that, it's another advantage for every FTQM. So it is not a thing where it's the state government's arrangement, not commission's arrangement. So if the state is providing accommodation for their set of workers, and other states, it is just a voluntary act. It is not a mandate by the commission. Although we still look and pray that every state government does the same, is able to do the same, give the same hospitality to everyone in terms of the accommodations and all those things. And if you're conversant with field work with the commission, you realize these are things that comes as an added advantage, not for what you're really entitled for. It's going to be paid and it's going to be across. So even if you have an accommodation somewhere, you still get your payment. If you don't have, you still get your payment. So that's just that. It's just an added advantage. And some people would have the luck, some people would not. And that's just normal of field work. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, I can see that Isaiah Auru Nasarawa, you're asking if the DQAs that you just trained will be paid. For those, well, the meeting will soon end, but for those who are intending to ask any more payments, questions about payment, no, just pen it down to your SDQM. I cannot give authoritative answer on payment now, so it will be the director. Then Niger Aliu Suleiman, you are asking that with regards to posting of FDQM made earlier have been posted to another zone that is not central, despite you being from Northwest. Okay, the person that just finished asking question now is from Rivers being posted to FCT. Please note that in as much as we try to manage posting within the zones, there were also cases whereby we could not help it. And like we said, right from the onset, we have not dropped anybody because of one reason or the other. As much as we tried to see that we posted people, but when we could not help it, we had to also do the needful. You're not being victimized, or are we also violating any rule or law that was earlier stated? Thank you. Okay, I think I can say it's been a fulfilling meeting. For those who have questions that have, well, I can't see anybody's hand up. Corner Barry, please put your question to the chat. You're raising up your hand again. This will be the last question we'll take before the meeting ends. Thank you all very much for your time and commitment. Hopefully,
Okay, thank you, ma,
before the
for
work
giving
commences.
me, ma.
Okay, Corner Barry,
Yes, ma. Sorry, I have a second question. Thank you for giving me another audience. Just this morning in the news, I heard that National Population Commission has fixed Wednesday next week, so Sunday next week as a date for the actual census. So it got me a little bit worried because I think we have not done the LGA level training, which is the enumerators and the supervisors training. So when friends and some of the SWF that we trained have been calling that they heard the same news, so I was trying to calm them, let them calm themselves, that I equally had the news too, that if we've not heard from our own people, that I will get back to them as soon as I hear from my people. So, Ma, can you throw more light on that?
Anybody, you have heard from your people now. That was the first thing I said. I said there is no official date for now for the census.
Okay.
If after this meeting a date is announced, we will communicate to people. That's one of the major things that the director wanted to send out to everybody. Because of such things that he also says has been happening, rumors here or there, so that people don't go and take excuse from work because of you are hearing a rumor. Don't go and pack your things and start traveling from Rivers to Abuja because of the rumor that you are hearing. So she just deemed it fit to tell you that for now, there's no, except if after this call a date is being fixed, and I know that if that is done, it will be communicated to you with
Of course.
yes, yeah, exactly. So with the speed of light, we'll also let you know. But for now, as of this particular day, there is no official date yet.
Okay, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody, for your time. Mobile data. Okay. Niger Adebayo is asking for mobile data for SWF. That will also be stable to the coordinator, and by God's grace, we would send all replies across to everybody, irrespective of the state where you're asking these questions from. Mr. Tochukwu, I hope you kindly note all the questions that I've said will be forwarded to the director so that we can get her response before the end of today, or hopefully before tomorrow morning, so that we can, or later by the end of tomorrow, so that we can get everybody their response. Thank you so much for your time, and we want to encourage all of us to continue to be law and abiding citizens of Nigeria. We pray to God to make it easy for us to execute this very, very huge task that the government wants to carry out, and we being the focal persons to execute the project. We look forward to more meetings with you people. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.